Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Salome here. Happy New Year. We're entering 2023. We have already entered 2023 and I really wanted to make this video because obviously I'm Georgian and I have worked in Georgian film industry on and off for years, and I'm a biggest cheerleader for Georgian independent cinema, especially because there are so many challenges in our country when it comes to making a film. You cannot even imagine how short and limited our budget is every year. And the project that win Georgian National Film Center funding, even they can barely stretch their resources to make the money enough for everything that's necessary for filmmaking. We all know that cinema world unfortunately is connected to money most of the times, and yeah, it creates a really big economical challenge. Our country is still at developing stage, so I feel a very big responsibility to say things about Georgian cinema because I know how many struggles are behind the scene. I have worked on international projects and Georgian projects, and the money and resources are always very, very tight on Georgian projects. So I applaud all the Georgian cinematographers and filmmakers and producers who are very brave and courageous to make films. Even when I don't really like Georgian films, whenever some people ask me my opinions, my tongue does not turn around to say bad things about it because I know how hard was it to execute this or that film. Having said that, of course, we are all entitled to have our opinions, and this year I'm just really happy to say that I liked more than one Georgian film, which is a rare occasion because we first of all make fewer films than other countries, and hence even fewer films are good. But I have to say that if you take into account how much films we make and how much films are really genuinely good, I think Georgian filmmaking is doing really well. Every year we have the major film festival which features international feature films including Georgian ones, Tbilisi International Film Festival. It takes place in December and every December I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to it because I know that I won't only find international films, but my main focus every year is to watch as many Georgian films as I can because Georgian films are really difficult to find online. There are always some ways to find like European films or American films, and when it comes to Georgian cinema, it's just the accessibility is so limited, and I'm often angry on so many people and government and our city hall because they don't arrange many art house screenings. If you compare Tbilisi to any other international city, Paris or London, we are not exposed to this screening. So every year this festival is like the highlight of every cinephile. And all of my picks today, I have one film that is like my heart's and soul's favorite, but I just want to say a few things about honorable mentions because every year my international friends who live in US, France, Italy, Germany, they ask me like, what type of Georgian film would you recommend? Because some Georgian films are streaming on Mubi, and I'm really grateful. I hope all the films I mentioned Mubi will stream. And I always give out my recommendations, so this review is also to my international friends who can get hands on these films. And to all of you film lovers, if you have not watched Georgian films, what are you doing? Georgian films always provide some type of unique edge. Even when I don't like them, I think that for international community there is always something to gain from the films. So I highly recommend all the films that I mentioned in this video, but I have of course my subjective choice. Okay, so let's start with honorable mentions. Because I'm from Georgia, I know few of these filmmakers in person, but I don't know all of them. So I will tell you that as well, for you to understand that I'm not a biased person. Honestly, when you watch a film, you either like the film or you don't like the film, and it's never, of course you respect the filmmaker if you know and you really vote for them, but it's just your heart and your mind who decides whether you like the film or not. And cinematic experience always goes beyond relative ties or friendship ties, so I think we should leave those behind, our personal opinions or personal connections. The film is so much bigger than that, so I just want you to bear in mind and don't take my opinions too personally. So let us begin with Gatenda film The Drummer, which is about a young Georgian fellow who is very passionate since his childhood to play on drums, and this film unlocks his daily encounters and obstacles. Also the Georgian drug subculture is very well shown here, how they try to snatch young people from the street and use them, and it's just a really good film. But I personally would say that for me it is a very ordinary story. Not to say that it's bad, but it's just did not have any value for me. It is just a very good one-time watch, and it's like an ordinary good linear narrative film about the Georgian young drummer's life. However, I have to really underline that Kote Kalandadze selected a really good actor to play this character. I think it's Lasha Tskhvitinidze. He is so genuine, and I think he doesn't act, he's really truly like that. And I have to also recommend the film by Kote Kalandadze that I really liked. It's his documentary, Dead Soul's Vacation. If you have a chance, please watch this. It's a very good documentary about this a person in a middle age who lives with his mother, and he used to be one of the representatives of Georgia underground rock music, and it is so good, and it's such a good documentary showing the contrast about his former life and his current daily struggles. Oh my god, this is like a tragic comedy. I much prefer that film to The Drummer, but anyway, if you have the chance, it's my honorable mention, so I recommend you to watch both of them. Two honorable mentions by the same filmmaker, Dito Tsintsadze. I know Dito personally. He used to be my lecturer at the cinema school, and he is not only a very well-established and recognized filmmaker, but he's a very cool person to communicate with. He's a type of person who I always would love to see, and my heart just warms up whenever I hear that he has released a new film. So of course I purchased tickets for both of his films. The first one is Roxy by Dito Tsintsadze, and this is a really good film. It's set in Germany, and I also have to underline that casting is wonderfully done. So Roxy is about a German taxi driver who is a very indifferent character, and one day he has this random passenger who is like this Georgian Russian mafia guy, and his life is changed. And to admit that Davit is a type of filmmaker who doesn't have a very massive Georgian identity in his film, which I really like. He manages to transcend his craft, and he's, for me, not like Georgian, but Georgian European filmmaker. And he's just so open and so flexible. You can see how he travels in different cultures and manages to create this truly European cinematic experience. The second film by Davit I wanted to mention, and I recommend you to watch, is Gatenda, and then The Sunrise Came. I don't know how it will translate in English. And I really like Davit's works because he manages to build these psychological characters of people, and every film, like I'm never really disappointed in his films. He's such a rare case in Georgian cinematography, and I consider myself really lucky that we have him. So this film is about a young guy, Nika, whose mother has died, and his father is paralyzed, and he's taking care of his father in a rundown cottage. And when he's taking care of his father in summer, his girlfriend, Ukrainian, I think, girlfriend Nastya arrives, and with Nastya, Sandro, Nika's father, unleashes his manipulative powers, and we see how he's paralyzed and he's sort of a victim of his situation, but inside he's very manipulative and very tumultuous character. So you get a compassionate towards him, but at the same time you get very angry and judgmental towards this character. And I really like such complex characters when they unleash in front of our eyes. So very good psychological family drama. It's also sexual, it's also passionate, it's also surrealistic sometimes. It's just a really good watch, and it's my honorable mention. Next honorable mention, which actually won the prize of Tbilisi International Film Festival as the best film, is Soso Josep Bliadze's The Room of My Own. I have worked with Soso, and he's such a a vibrant face in Georgian film industry. We worked together on his short film, and he's just always developing and always has to lay something new on the table. So I want to congratulate him for this winning prize. However, to be honest, I don't think that it was the best of the best, and that's why I put it in honorable mentions. However, the film is very good. If you have a chance, you should watch it. It's about social subjects and dilemmas in Georgian everyday life. Whoever watches it, especially Georgian people, they will spot and underline all the problems that young people face in terms of their sexual orientation, in terms of living alone, in terms of stereotypes around their living choices. This film is about a young girl who sort of lost her life, lost her way in life, and she's confused about a lot of things, and she's also cut out from her family, and she rents the room and shares the flat from this vibrant character Maggie, who is very colorful, very free, and she learns and she adapts the ways, and she kind of also falls in love with her. I cannot say that this is a queer film, and to be honest, I don't like to characterize and categorize films like queer film, lesbian film. A film is a film, okay? Let's just say that. But I didn't find this film irritating, because let me explain myself. Whenever Georgian filmmakers take the subject of non-traditional orientation, whether it's homosexual, gay, I don't know, lesbian or queer or transgender. They tend to make more caricature than the genuine human experience, which I really don't like. Like, nobody wants to fight stereotypes with cliches and stereotypes. You know what I mean? You have to find a very human edge to show these people, and you don't have to reduce these people to their sexual orientation, to their choice of life, to their religion. So I really have to give credit to Soso that he didn't do it. And in that respect, this film is different, because in spite of the fact that it deals with sometimes gay love or open love, we don't know. There is no indication in this film that we should put labels or anything, which I really appreciate. So Soso really managed to get the message to the audience in the simplest and most human way. And I think the casting is done amazingly. It's not the film that my heart would select, because I am a person who really doesn't like this social, like films focused on social dilemmas, and the dramaturgy of this film and the mise en scenes. It was not anything new for me. When I was watching A Room of My Own, I was enjoying myself. It was not an unpleasant experience, but at the same time, I had the sense that I have already seen this film. Maybe because I watch a lot of films about this subject, I don't know why, but you know, there was not like nothing that unique that I could discover. And you know, I'm watching films in order to always find out new ways of saying. So I have nothing bad to say about this film, but I have my thoughts about it. And the film that I would personally give the prize of the best film of 2022, best Georgian film of 2022, is The Long Break by Davit Pirtskhalava. I don't know Davit in person, and it's so funny that who I don't know I liked, vice versa with who I really know in person and support and respect them. But as I told you, you know, you view the films from your heart, and the heart and the feelings go way higher than your personal connections. So, and this is such a genuinely good film. And I have to also say that I was really surprised that not all of the people loved this film. I have met some acquaintances at the festival who said, "Oh my god, this film had problems." And I was like, okay. I think that this is a full masterpiece. The Long Break is about young men in their 30s, and one person, Tsitsi. Even the names are, and the certain like nicknames of these characters are so well selected. I mean, I don't know. There is nothing in this film that I don't like. So Tsitsi, this man, initiates for classmates to meet after 13 years, and it's just the cause to drink and, you know, remember the past. But they go to their old school's building and have the reunion there. And I think Tsitsi has a secret motivation. He wants to mock and have a revenge on what's the character's name? Guga, who was this big bully in their class. And some people, after 13 years, they have these inner struggles of their bully even now. And this is unleashed and recovered, and how to say, it's coming up on the surface as their reunion proceeds. They gather at the school in the middle of the night. The school shots the interior, the canteen. Oh my god, it is just a masterpiece. It's like this man, they have the time machine to go back, but they truly never left their school and they truly never recovered from that bullying. And even the buller, Guga, he has this bitter taste in his mouth. He obviously has remorse, but he doesn't know how to undo these things. And oh my god, it is just if I don't know, you just have to see this film if you like cinema, because the dramaturgy and the characters are so complex. You know, I'm a sucker for complex characters. And the other thing that I really appreciate and is really, really real in Georgia's cinema is that whenever cinematographers make films about men, and the main actors here and the main people who gather and have this reunion are men, sometimes men have this very masculine and aggressive character, and nobody tackles down the female aspect of men. But in this film, The Long Break, you see these men, even the alcoholics, even the bullies and the bullied, they all have this soft side, this feminine energy. And if you know anything about feminine and masculine energy, you know that our feminine and masculine energies are not connected to the genitals. So a lot of people think that if you want to activate your masculine energy, you have to dress up like a guy, or put some other accessories in the characters. But it's all about your energy, it's all about the attitude, the words. And this is such a good script. The dialogues are on spot. I don't have anything that I would change. And this film, when I was watching, I was like, oh my god, because this is an international success. And let me tell you my shock when this film was not even mentioned in honorable mentions in Tbilisi International Film Festival. I remember my friends texting me like, Salome, have you seen the winners and honorable mentions list? And I'm like, oh yes, I've seen. And she was just furious that The Long Break was not even mentioned, and she was feeling so annoyed and so disrespectful. Although me and my friend, we don't know Davit Pirtskhalava in person, I think that A Long Break really deserved mentioning. But festivals are festivals. They always have their own choices, and in the cold, harsh reality of the day, all the films are watched by people, so people decide which film is cinema and which film is just a movie. For me, A Long Break has no competition, and last year, as the best film from Georgia, I mentioned What Do We See When We Look Up in the Sky, which I think is a very good film, and it was playing on Mubi and still is playing in some countries. But this film, this is just painfully good film, It's like cathartical film. It's so simple, yet it's so complicated. I just want to end my video here. I'm really grateful to the film festival that allowed me to watch all this film. I'm a huge sucker for Georgian cinema, and yeah, I recommend you watch these films. Please leave a comment down below if you have watched these films. I would appreciate it. I like this video. I think it is helpful for the algorithm. Have a great new year, and see you next time.